Okay. Just let me know when you live.
It should be live now, but anything can happen.
I am refreshing. Refresh. Gotta make sure this shit fresh, yo. We fresh, yo. We fresher than fresh. We fresh, y'all. I don't see it live. I don't see it live. We not live. There's the live. I got it live. Yeah. Okay, so we live.
Yep.
All right, so before we officially start, I need to talk about something.
Okay.
And I don't want people to get in too close because then you'll see what I'm talking about. For everybody who's watching on the actual live stream, like you're the only people that can actually see this, but I want to actually let people know. Um, your boy got a touch of that hurt, and it's not a good feeling right now. So I have a cold sore.
Okay.
I have, and basically it's a form of herpes. So
Yeah.
probably got a touch of that hurt. And yesterday I didn't really do much about it. It was just kind of there, and just kind of chilling. Um, and I did all right, just vaping and drinking and eating from one side of my mouth as opposed to the other. It wasn't really that big of a deal. Sometimes it felt a little bit painful, but it wasn't really like I couldn't function or anything like that. So I woke up this morning. I woke up this morning and bruh, that shit was hurting. Like it was hurting. And I got up, it was enough time for me to make it to work on time and all of that. And then like I was just like, yo, I need to call my job because I am not gonna fucking make it. Like I'm like, really? I was like, yo, I'm not gonna make it. I gotta do something about this.
Right.
So I went to so I went to I tried to go to CVS. It was early in the morning. And I don't know what time CVS opened, but it didn't look like that one was open. Because it was like dark. There was like no cars. Like not even like I didn't see a place where like there would be like the workers' cars or anything like that. Like it was just completely dark. And there was just nothing. So I was just like, well, maybe I should go somewhere else. But then I was like, you know what? I should get some gas. There's a 7-Eleven right by one. So I pulled into the 7-Eleven, got out to get ready to put my card into the thing, pat my pockets. Ain't had no damn card. I was like, bruh. And so you mean to tell me on top of everything, I ain't had no money in the first place? So I had to go all the way back home. And then on the way back, I stopped at Walgreens because I'm like, yo, at least I know Walgreens. This Walgreens is 24 hours. So I know this joint open. So I go on to Walgreens and I'm looking at my options. Some of these options for cold sores is really stinking expensive. Like really stinking expensive. But I found a moderately priced one. I didn't get the cheapest one. I didn't get the most expensive one. I went in the middle. So I gave them.
That's normally the best route because sometimes when you get the most expensive one, you're paying for a name. When you get the cheapest one, you're getting something that ain't gonna work.
Exactly. So and then I stopped somewhere else on the way to work. So like I got to work like almost an hour late today. And then so I all right, so I get this stuff and it says that you can it says that it helps the cold sore in the surrounding area. So me not knowing exactly what I had, it was a little tube, and I squirted a little bit too much on my finger. So I said, you know what? I mean, I was already at work at this point, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put some. I'm just gonna take it, and it said the surrounding area, so I'm just gonna put some on my lips, make sure my lips are straight. I didn't realize that this shit was like Orajel. And like the first day, like Monday morning is like the busiest morning for me during the week because I have to make a whole bunch of phone calls to everybody who requested a move during the weekend.
So you're
So like,
with the
so
mother woman.
yeah, I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone like from the moment I get there. Like I'm on the phone for like the first couple of hours. Typically, for the first couple of hours, I'm on the phone, and now I can't feel my lips. Like I can't feel my lips now. I feel it a little bit right now because I used some not too long before the show was supposed to start, and I put a little bit, and I put like a little teeny bit, and I put it exactly on the spot, so I can feel my mouth now. I can feel myself.
You were
I
just
can
like,
feel my. Yeah, no, I had it. I put it on my finger because I wasn't about to put it directly, contamination and all that other shit. So I put it on my finger, and then I was like, "Well, I got too much, so let me go ahead and rub this in." And I rubbed it all in my lips, and I could not feel my lips for a little bit, and I still had to finish making these calls, and that was just the hardest thing ever. Like it was like the hardest thing ever to try to talk, and you can't feel your lips. Like you don't realize that like talking and like actually feeling your mouth as you talk helps you talk. And I was talking funny, like I sounded like I was slow. Like I sounded like there was something wrong with me, and I was like, ain't nothing wrong with me. It's just like I put fucking orgel on all my lips. You know what I mean? I basically put orgel on my lips, and this is just not a good feeling right now. Fuck. Um, so yeah, I mean, my mouth feels weird right now, but it doesn't feel as weird. Um, and like when I put it on this time, I guess the stuff actually worked because it's supposed to dry it out to help it heal faster. And like the crust came off.
Uh-huh.
So like I put it on, and then like something was on my finger. I was like, what the fuck on my finger? Oh yeah, it was the crust. So like I'm dealing with this right now. So like this is
And then you're
going
just
to
like,
be no, that's I only do that with boogers. But I make that joke. I make that joke about eating boogers all the time, and it grosses my girlfriend out. And like, no one has ever actually seen me eat or not eat a booger, so like, no one knows if I'm telling the truth or not. And that is the funniest thing.
yeah.
Like, it's the funniest thing to me. Like, I tell people all the time I eat my boogers, and like, like you don't know whether to believe me or not because it's possible. It's in the current landscape of my life. It's possible that I actually eat my boogers. It's like real possible. But I'm not saying one way or the other because I think it's funny. That should be the show title because I think it's funny. Or either that or Touch of That Hurt.
Because I think it's funny should be the tagline of the entire show.
No, because like it's not really. Sometimes it's not really a whole lot of funny. Like I find, look, the funniest thing that I find about this show is making fun of you. Like that is the part of this that I find the funniest. But that's not necessarily your favorite part of the show.
It just feels like middle school. Yay.
I mean, I'm a big ass kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have like responsibilities and shit, but like, I'm a big ass kid. So like, it's accurate. Like, all right. So, welcome everybody to the show. This is Scarcasm.
This is Scarcasm.
I am Scarfinger, and I have finally done it. I have done it. I have actually started the Patreon. Now, I feel very, very weird about the Patreon. Like, let's be honest. I feel very, very weird about the Patreon. And it's not something that I really want to push in a way to like try to force people into feeling guilty so that they give us money. But like there's some things that we would like to do, and like money will help us do it better. And that's the best way to say it. Like, there's things that we would like to be able to do, especially like better equipment and like better cameras, better microphones, like to be able to do some different things with like recording our videos. And like if we if it really blows up, like getting us like better like capture cards and shit like that. Like it's, you know, if it really blows up, which I don't think. But also one of the main reasons why I wanted to do it is because I wanted to start a vaping podcast for quite some time. And since I don't really have an in with vaping companies, I was going to do one of those monthly vape boxes. And the vape box that actually gives you devices in addition to the vape juices is $60 a month. And like I just kept hesitating to put $60 in, you know, $60 a month into a vape box, knowing that the show doesn't make any money. You know what I mean? Like the hosting, the getting enough to cover the hosting is the first goal. The first goal is $20. I haven't really put a whole lot of this because I just started the Patreon and we have one patron. Shout out to Ron Block, my
Ron Block.
man Ron Block. But we do have a patron. But like the first goal is going to be $20 because that covers the hosting, and then like the second goal is $80 so that it covers the hosting and it covers the vape box, and then it's gonna, you know, it's gonna cover other things. And like with the different levels, like there's also stuff that is inclusive of everything that we consider about Geeks Gone Raw, whether it's show stuff, whether it's like the stuff that we post on YouTube or Twitch or Mixer or whatever. It also covers like the painting stuff, and like you can win paintings by and there's be a monthly prize drawing for different levels of paintings or multiple paintings depending on which level you get into. And you know, and then like, you know, like the money can go into some of that too, like the boxes that they need to go in and packing materials and that kind of stuff. Like I have the paint and all of that kind of stuff already on my own, but like the idea of being able to get all of this stuff shipped and prepared and like, and if you are if you're at the highest level of this, like people who've been around for a long time, they know this, but if you're at the highest level of the Patreon, instead of saying that you want the paintings, you can say fuck the paintings and I'll make you some cookies straight up. You know what I mean? Like it's really all inclusive to everything that we do here. Which I think is kind of cool. Now, in some cases, some people will probably feel like maybe we should separate some of this stuff out. But I definitely don't want to do several Patreons. Like that seems fucked up. You know what I mean? Like I feel fucked up about this one. You know
Right.
what I mean? I feel fucked up that I got to come to you with this. Like, you know, the people, the royal you or the royal
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, I've always wanted my money all in the same place. Like like if me and Amber ever like weren't together or whatnot, it would seem kind of fucked up. But like I was like, all my video games or all our video games, I always buy on my profile. But that's mostly because I want to make sure that shit that we buy is somewhere where I can find it. Because I'm the only one in the house that doesn't make multiple profiles.
Right.
You know, like I don't want to be password blocked out of something that, you know, we bought or something. So yeah, it makes sense to have everything that you do
That happened to
money
me.
wise
That
come
happened.
through the
I'm gonna tell you
same
that
Patreon.
happened. That happened to me with my cell phone. My cell phone was a casualty of my separation and consequently divorce. Like that 100% happened to me because the account was in her name and my shit got turned off. And I lost my phone number that I've had for years and years and years, and you know, part of me still misses that damn phone number, especially because this new phone number that I've had since then, I still get phone calls and text messages for the person who previously had this number. Still to this day, I've had this phone since 2013. I've had this phone number since 2013, and I am still getting phone calls and text messages for Janae Bello. Whoever the fuck Janae Bello is really about that life. And it's like was on like a whole bunch of stuff, and like there's a bunch of people sitting. I get text messages and phone calls damn near daily still, which is weird. But yeah, that 100% happened to me. With the whole you split and then you don't know where your stuff is going. Yeah, that 100% happened to me with
Yeah,
my
but
cell phone.
but I but But until then, I like to have everything to where you know where it is, and that's pretty much the same with the Patreon. You know, having multiple Patreons until have you want to know where your money is coming in from. You know what I mean? Like we have our shit split up. It's not like on this YouTube channel. I mean, I have a playlist for you painting stuff, but it's all separate. Your cookies, your paint, my personal YouTube, all that's separate. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not. That would
It's
make
weird because they say on YouTube you should have everything separate.
yeah.
And like you could just make multiple YouTubes, like the my personal YouTube and the painting YouTube are both under my main profile. Like the Geeks Gone Raw YouTube is under the Geeks Gone Raw email and not my personal one, but like both of those are personal to me.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense to have it separate because people that want to go for painting aren't going to sit through a gaming video, but like money should be not separate.
Yeah, I think so. I think and so like even though we only have one patron right now, I'm still doing the drawings. All of the drawings will happen on the 1st. So if you're the only person in the drawing, guess what? You got it. You know what I mean? You got it. Guess what? You
Ron
won.
Block's going to start a campaign. Do not become a Scarcasm patron.
Yeah. Don't. Rob Block is gonna be like, don't put 5 on it. Like I got this. Like don't put 5 on it. That's that's the show title. Don't put 5 on it. Yep. So it's done, and we've also worked on some art. We did it after your live stream last week and everything else, and like I hope this actually gets us closer to closer to the goals of the show and it gets us to the goals of everything, and not just the show, but like we are multifaceted people. You know what I mean? Like, and we want to do more things. So like once everything really starts moving and like, I think if it actually moves, we can turn this into something. And I'm not really looking for like a million fucking patrons. I don't really need a million patrons. I just want to be able to do some nice things for y'all, and also to do some nice things for like you and Sam. Like when I bought you that snowball, like I did that out of my pocket, and I've done that out of my pocket, and it's nothing for me to be like awarded for. I'm just saying that it's not anything for me to be awarded for, especially because I got a really good deal on that snowball, like really good deal. Like I mean, like for real, I pay less than $30 for that thing. So like, whoop, whoop. But I've done stuff like that. Bought mic stands for people who seemed like they were struggling with that and stuff like that, and that's all been out of pocket. But like, if we can get this together as a community, like I'll be able to disseminate what we all need. Hopefully, like we might be able to actually get Sam on camera. Even though I know he has one, he just doesn't want to be on camera. But we gonna get Sam on camera because we're gonna get him a new camera. And like my camera is a 720p camera. So like I don't even have a 1080 camera, even though like I could have upgraded a long time ago, but I figured that
I mean, the
this one
stream's
works
only
this time.
720 anyway, so I mean,
Yeah.
you look as good as I do. So
Yeah, I mean, come on, bro. You really think I look just as good as you do, bro? Look at this face.
look
Minus
at
the
his
cold
hair,
sore.
man.
Minus the cold sore, bruh. I'm blazing you. Like I make this look real good. Like you know what I mean? Fat dude chic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking with you. So yeah, that's all about the Patreon. I'm gonna put the link in the show notes. The show notes completely need to be redone. Like and that is
I've
going.
I've moved them around a little bit, but they still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that. And like I realized I was posting my painting videos, and like my painting videos and stuff is kind of based off of the show notes because it had all of my contact information in there.
Mm-hmm.
And like I still got Google Plus links. I still got Google Plus in those notes, and I had no idea I still had the Google
Yeah,
Plus stuff in
all
there.
I did was organize it. I didn't delete anything because I didn't know what you wanted to keep.
Oh no, we running through that. We running through that. We changing everything, putting in the Patreon. We taking some things out. We putting some things in like Sam's Twitch and your YouTube and
Does the
all.
voicemail line still work?
Absolutely, it's my Google Voice number.
Because that would be kind of what's kind of cool if we get some voicemails. You know,
I would
every
totally
now and
do that. I would totally do that. I would do the voicemails. We did it for a long time on the Dream Team. And then, but like the Dream Team, like we did it in the initial parts of the Dream Team, and here's what happened. Eventually, the voicemails, the callers started revolting on each other. And like they were, like somebody would leave a voicemail and then someone else would leave a voicemail responding to that person, and like they are going at each other and not really paying any attention to us. And then you had Rob at the time. Rob was a big fan. This is pre separation and him marrying my ex-wife, but this is it's pre all of that. But like Rob was a big fan of the Dream Team in the early days, and he would call and leave us these voice messages that it has shit to do with nothing. There's these long drawn out, well, not long because it's Google Voice and you only have 3 minutes, but he would, like Rob is a roller coaster enthusiast. Like he is really about that roller coaster life.
Mm-hmm.
And like he would call and leave us a voicemail about roller coasters and shit for like 3 minutes. And it was just like the weirdest thing. But I would totally do the whole voicemail thing. I kind of welcome the whole voicemail thing. I think we should do that. I think we should put that out there. I think we should do we should do some sort of contest and revolve the contest around the voicemails.
Yeah.
But since it's my personal Google Voice, so like I gotta be careful about that.
Yeah.
Because like but yeah. And like also doing that, like every once in a while, like Google Voice sends me this thing like, hey, you ain't really used this in a minute, we might turn this bitch off. Like that would totally make it so that we're actually using this thing, and I don't turn that bitch off. They don't turn that bitch off. You know what
Hold
I'm saying?
on 1 second. I need to get me something to drink. Roll for a little minute.
Roll for a little minute. I could do that. What's going on, everybody? Hey, I've actually watched some things. I watched quite a bit. I'm kind of blowing through seasons right now, and I know it's been a couple weeks, but there's two in particular that I really want to talk about. But I'm waiting a little bit on that for just to, well, I'm gonna wait for Chase to really talk about the stuff, but one of them I really wanted to discuss with Sam, who is stuck at work right now, and that's High Fidelity on Hulu, and it's kind of a take off of the High Fidelity movie that I've never seen because I am not white. White people love High Fidelity, but like I don't really know. I know of the movie, but I don't really know too much about the movie. But it's a show on Hulu, and John Cusack's character is played. They do a gender swap, and is played by Zoe Kravitz, and is really cool. Like some of it is like kind of like music nerd stuff. And like if you know a whole lot about music, like there's a connection point for you there. And some of it is like her like relationship stuff, which it I kind of dug it, because even though they swapped genders for the main characters, Chase, I'm talking about High Fidelity on Hulu. Even though they did a gender swap, they don't treat her as if she is like like you do a gender swap in like their relationships and like them getting out there and having some fun and fucking and stuff like that. They don't really change that very much
Is
from
this a
like
remake
if she
of
was
the John Cusack movie?
yes. And like I said before, I'm not white, so I've never seen it before, but I've heard of it, and I know white people really care about it. But I only watched it because I was listening to a podcast, I was listening to a podcast, Questlove Supreme, with
Mhm.
Questlove from the Roots. He has an interview show. Apparently, he's had an interview show for a long time, and I have just heard of this recently. And Zoe Kravitz was on, and they talked about it because she is John Cusack's character. And so like I really liked it. It was over pretty fast. Like with Hulu and the ads, I mean, all of the episodes are like 30 minutes. So like I blazed through that in basically within 24 hours, honestly.
Huh.
And so like I just went right through it. Actually, I would say 2 days. I would say 2 days, not 24 hours. In 2 days it was over with, and I was just kind of like left a little bit saddened because I really wanted to know what was going to happen after that. But like I really liked it a lot, and it made me interested to find out what they changed from the movie. And apparently even with the gender swaps, it brings a lot of things from the book, because apparently it was a book first.
Yes. Nick
So
Hornsby, I believe.
it's possible. But but yeah, I really like that a lot. And have you seen the movie?
Yes, but it's been a long time.
Okay. And then I blazed through. Like it took me a while to get started. It took me like 3 episodes to get really like invested, but I blazed through the second season of Altered Carbon.
How was that? Because I heard not as good things compared to the first season.
Okay, so the first 3 episodes, I 100% felt the same way.
Mhm.
Because I couldn't. Okay, so here's the thing: the way that what's his name, Joel Kinnaman, um, the way that he played it, seemed a little bit closer to what the character was, because there were a lot of flashbacks in the first season with I think his name is Will Jun Lee or something like that. I'm actually look this up. And there was a lot of flashbacks, so you can see that the two of them had actually like met each other at some point. Will Yoon Lee, and Will Yoon Lee's character is the original version of that character. You know, that is the character in their original body. And then and in the first season, Joel Kinnaman, he played the new version of this character after he got brought out of a prison or whatever. But there was a lot of flashbacks in the first season, so you could see that they were playing the same character. Like you could understand that they were playing the same character, and you could see that they actually met each other before, and they actually had like a real conversation about how to play this character. And you can see that like it may have been a situation where one person had played it before, and then the other person came back behind him and was like, okay, so this is how he did it, so this is how I have to do it, because we are playing the same guy just in 2 different bodies.
Right.
You know, and in the first part of season 2, you know, the Falcon, like you don't get that because there's not a lot of flashbacks, and you don't really get the connection between Falcon and the character he's supposed to be portraying. But and this is a slight spoiler, but not a huge spoiler, because it's in the preview. So if you watch the previews, you know this. There is a point where Falcon and Will Yoon Lee actually meet. You know, they actually meet, and like then you see how well Falcon is actually doing at the job, and it makes more sense how Falcon has been acting this whole time. And I think in the early parts, it's like Falcon. I keep calling his Falcon. But he's always going to be Falcon. Kind of like the way if you watch Power, the chick who plays Angela is not like the governor of the area that most of the story takes place in. And like she always going to be Angela to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I see her, I see Angela. I don't see her as anything else. um, um, so, but like so like once you see them in the same place at the same time, like it a little bit more of it falls into place. And it makes a whole lot more sense. And it's only like 8 episodes, so it's like an easy watch. It's like not very much to it at all. It's a super easy watch. Simone Mystic plays in it. You know, she played in Luke Cage.
Okay.
You know, she was Misty in Luke Cage. So she plays in it, and it's just like it's just a bunch of names that you've seen before that are just kind of here for this. And I really like it. I really like it. I like the first season. It took like 2 episodes for me to really get what's happening, and this second season it took like about like most of the way through the 3rd episode before it to really click for me, because I ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep on the first 2 episodes, like, and I had to go back and watch some of it again. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna front with you at all. But I damn sure fell asleep on the first 2 episodes. But like once the 3rd episode hits and it really starts moving, like I really got it. And I think Falcon did a pretty good job. Now, because of the nature of the show, we know 9 times out of 10, Falcon ain't gonna be back. And that's kind of, you know, if they do another season, Falcon ain't gonna be back, and they're just gonna bring in somebody else, which is kind of cool because like you still have William Lee there, and like he is the baseline that you have to shoot for with this character. Mm-hmm. And as long as you hit that line or somewhere close to that line, you'll be all right. Right. Now there is a smidge. Now this has always been science fiction. Some people call it cyberpunk. It's just science fiction to me. And there is a slight episode, a slight. I don't know whether you call it mysticism or like, I don't know. Like they added another element to this one. And I wouldn't call it fantasy, but like they added another element to this season, and I really want to know how that's going to carry over. And I'm interested if this element was a part of the original stories, because I think this is based on a book too. I think, I'm not 100% certain.
Maybe,
but yeah. But yeah, I really liked it, and it's going pretty well. I'm gonna tell you something else that I watched.
What's that?
I'm still watching
Supergirl.
I don't. No, I caught up. I watched what was on Netflix, and I'm too behind on the current season to watch it on the CW app because they only have the last 5 episodes. So I'll wait until it's on. I'll wait till it's on Netflix before I watch that. But every other CW show I'm current on, including Batwoman, which I'm kind of up and down with Batwoman.
Because she's a woman, right? And you just hate women.
No, I just think that there's just a lot of unnecessary drama, and I think most of the drama
is because they're women, right? You just hate women.
No, I think it's from. I think the biggest issue that I have with Supergirl, right, is something that happens a little bit on the other shows, and now the Arrow is gone. The biggest problem that you have in all of these shows is a character has some sort of a secret, and they should tell it. They should tell it, and it'll make everybody's life better if they actually speak their truth and say, okay, they sit down with the people and say, okay, so this is what happened when you weren't around, or this is what happened, like that type of thing, and then they can all solve it together. The problem is they keep keeping secrets, and then they try to all solve it on their own, and then it just causes more problems than like, and it's just like an artificial way of creating drama.
Right.
And it's just like, this is highly unnecessary. But it's also in the show that I was getting ready to talk about, which is Blind Spot. I'm on the third season of Blind Spot. This show has 100% jumped the shark. 100%. It is no, like, bruh. I'm watching because I'm trying to figure out how the fuck they're gonna like write themselves out of the hole that they're in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and like, and I'm watching it with my girls, so it's a thing where just, it's one of the things that we do together, as opposed to me just blazing through stuff on my own. Because I would have been finished with Blind Spot if I was watching on my own. But the show has 100% jumped the shark. It's what's happening right now is like the third season of Heroes, where Heroes actually had an excuse. Heroes actually had an excuse. They had a story. The writer's strike fucked their story up, and they could never rebound.
Right.
And so like that, and I was really into Heroes. I watched the whole thing, even when they brought that back for that, and even when they came back for that one season, I watched the whole thing of Heroes. And even though I didn't like all that carnival stuff towards the end of the original run, I still watched it. I still finished it, and I still cared about Heroes in a way that I don't.
I remember watching some Heroes, but
Mhm.
I don't remember much from it. But it does bring back nostalgia to the early days of the 360, and I'm down with that.
Yeah, and what was really cool is Heroes had this thing, especially for the last of the original season. Well, I think starting like early, they had a thing where Netflix had the episode the next day. And then like every week they will release a little short web video web series that tied into it. And they actually released like these little comic books also online that you can watch that tied into what you were watching. It would be like, sometimes it would be a character's like backstory, or something that happened with a character when they was not on the screen, but something that is important for understanding, for context purposes.
Right.
Like all of that, like there was a lot of that with Heroes, and I really dug that about Heroes, and I really wish someone would do that again, in a better, because this is the perfect climate for something like that. This is like the perfect climate for something like that, because like Heroes is how old, and they were still doing this whole putting out webisodes and putting out comics for every issue and all of this kind of stuff. Like it, and like they were doing that back then.
Yeah.
So I think this is the perfect climate for that. Like, put out some fucking TikToks or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm joking with the TikTok shit, but you can put some Instagram videos up, like for real. Like, can't it like Instagram videos can be what, like 10 minutes. Only problem is like most of the Instagram videos are vertical, and nobody wants to watch a vertical video for 10 minutes. Sorry. Like, well, I'm an old person, and I don't want to watch a vertical video for 10 minutes.
The only place that a vertical video works is if you're watching it on your phone in vertical mode. Like if you're watching it on your PC or anywhere, or if it's uploaded to YouTube, it don't work.
Yeah, I actually have a vertical video on YouTube. I do. One of my painting videos, I recorded it for Instagram.
Uh-huh.
I recorded it for Instagram, and I put it up on. I edited it down to be less than 10 minutes, and I put it in. I was like, well, I still got the video, so I might as well put it up on YouTube too. But my only issue,
It was square videos.
TV videos.
Hold on.
Yeah, you blinked out for a second.
All right, we should be good now.
Would you okay. The regular Instagram videos are square, but the Instagram TV videos are mostly vertical. I know a lot, some sort of editing tool.
Oh fuck!
Connection or my connection?
It's mine. It should be back now, but I don't know what's going on. I mean, I remember him saying his PlayStation went connect, and now I'm getting these issues. So I don't know.
Okay.
I might need to run a router reset.
Okay, so do you want to try to blaze through this? Like, are we recording a backup?
Not recording
Just
a
in case.
backup. Would you like to record a backup just in case?
Yeah, but that means I got to open OBS, which is like, why would I do that? But okay, I'll open OBS and we'll take a little breather right now, and then I'll record this just in case we need it.
Okay.
Cool. I was on the roll too, and you barely got to talk. So like, this shit can't be fucking up before you get to talk.
Yeah, because I've played some shit. I mean, it seems to be going pretty good right now.
Okay, I can see me. You say something?
Yo, what's up?
Okay, it's not doing. It's not.
It should be desktop audio that's picking up me.
It is not. It is not. I can see me, and like the. Say something else.
What's up, man?
Nope, it's not doing that at all. Let's see. Go to properties.
In the little gear, you can change what the desktop audio actually is.
I got it. I know how to do this part at least. Shit, Chase.
I normally go with speakers, which is what I'm actually hearing.
Yeah, I got it. And then mine is set up to go on different channels and all that kind of shit. So I can raise or lower my voice to match yours.
Okay.
Okay, so I am recording.
Sounds good.
Okay, so all right. So if this doesn't work live, we at least have this as a backup. Let me pull you back up so I can see you. I'm not recording the video in OBS though.
That's cool.
It's just the audio. All right. Let me make this smaller so I can see it. Make sure that we're still going. Oh yeah, we got it. All right. So where were we? Instagram video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I said I thought they were square.
yeah, the square videos are the normal videos, and those were only like 30 seconds. And then they put in Instagram TV, which Instagram TV you could put up to 10 minutes, but it's a vertical video. And I know a lot of people got around it by doing some sort of editing tricks where you put something in the background above and below your normal widescreen, your 16:9 or whatever, to make it vertical.
Yeah.
A lot of it looks like a kind of like a grayed out version of the video, which I think is kind of cool looking. But you can do that for up to 10 minutes, and that's what I use to post the video that I posted. But then I was
like the stories, like when people post stories.
No, no, there's a separate piece of Instagram called Instagram TV.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a lot of it you can see on your normal profile, and you start watching it, and once you get past a certain mark, I don't know whether it's like 3 minutes or something like that, it'll say, hey, you want to see more? You press it, and then it takes you to the Instagram TV part and for the rest of the video.
Okay.
because there's a time limit on the regular Instagram stuff. It's weird. I haven't really messed with it that much, but it's there. But I don't like vertical video. I have done a vertical video, and I've even posted it to YouTube. So there is a vertical video on the painting YouTube video, painting YouTube channel. So I can't. I'm complicit in that. In at least one instant, I'm complicit in putting out vertical video. But I seem to get a lot more love for the paintings on Instagram as opposed to YouTube. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I think that was it. Instagram
Oh,
shit.
oh yeah,
Vertical videos.
yeah. We were talking about heroes and shit. So I think that's yeah. I think that something like that could work in today's climate. But I just somebody needs to take that leap, and I hope at some point somebody does, because I think it would be pretty dope, and like the immersion that you could have would be like really cool. Um,
Well, they have done with like some games to where it ties into a TV show or whatever, didn't they? What was that game? It starts with a D, I think. That was in 360
they
days.
there was one that's tied into like an MMO type game. There's also that TV show that's within that game that came out for the Xbox, made by the Remedy people. What's it called?
Oh, Quantum Leap, Quantum Break. Damn.
What was that? What was that movie? What was that TV show
Well,
with
hold
the
on. My internet's like being an ass tonight for some reason.
Defiance?
Yeah, that's it. Defiance. Right when the internet comes back, Defiance for all the people alive. Defiance is what the game is called. What the TV show is called. Defiance.
Absolutely. And then I all right. So I mean, have you really watched anything? Because I did all of the talking so far, and I've
I haven't
pretty
really
much done.
watched anything other than old shit, but on my Plex and shit. But I mean, I have played some shit though. I I had picked up Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order,
Yes, I've seen you play that.
and I really fucking dig that game, man. The because what kind of pushed me back on it was the whole that people were saying it was Souls like, and I kind of wish. I mean, yes, it's inspired by Dark Souls, I guess, and how because there's parts of Dark Souls is not just it being a hard game. There's certain mechanics that they have, and it has those mechanics, but it has difficulty levels to where there's like story and normal, which story is like easy. So you can play through it and it not be like hard as fucking balls, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but unlike Dark Souls, which is just always hard as fucking balls. But
yeah,
the thing is that you have the kind of campfire type mechanic like in Dark Souls, but it's like where you meditate as a Jedi, and that's where you do your skills. That's where you save, and it has a little bit of Metroid, not like side scrolly, but like how you like you'll be doing the main quests and whatnot. It is a single player like beat it type game, but
beat 'em up. You, or a hack and slash.
well, I mean, it's a single player like you beat it like linear. That's the word I was looking for. It is a linear
Okay.
type game, but you'll be going into on a planet and it'd be like, "Yo, man, what's up with this? The power's not on." I'm like, "How you turn on the power?" You don't turn on the power until you're later in the game, and then you go back and you can actually explore that area. So there's a lot of exploration that's separate from your actual
Okay. So
main
let me ask you
story.
a question. Is it like you have to backtrack to those areas, or like you keep your powers if you do a new game plus, and now these areas are open with a new game plus?
Well, you can keep exploring after you beat the game, or you can backtrack. Either way that you want to do. But
Okay.
the there's not too much backtracking in the main story. I mean, there's a little bit, but it's not really like you're backtracking, just going back to the. Cause there's only like 4 or 5 planets in the game, so it kind of feels like Mass Effect in that way, to where you're picking a planet and going to that planet, and then but there's certain areas that are blocked off until you are further in the story, and that's part of the next part of the story. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
and the gameplay is really addictive. So I wouldn't mind, after I'm got all my powers and shit, to go back and see if I can do it on a harder difficulty, because the actual mechanics of the fighting is really well done. But it does have some performance issues. And it's not too many like when you're actually playing. It's mostly when you load in. I was like, wow, after this new processor and all this, I'm still logging it, but that's everybody. It's just for some
Or
reason
is it
that.
one of those things? Or is it one of those things to where it's like because you're an AMD dude that you got AMD
Well,
issues?
PCGamer.com said it had performance issues, and said the same issues that I was talking about, like kind of get some jitter after you load into a new area and whatnot. And I was like, okay, well, if they're getting it with, PC Gamer people have like whatever PC they can fucking dream of to review games on. So if they're
Right.
getting it, everybody's getting it. And then I was like, is it just a PC thing? But then I heard it was across the board. But so maybe with some patches they can fix that. But it's very minute. It's not like you'll be fighting a boss and your game's slowing down, which is more game breaking than what I'm experiencing. But it,
Word.
it is a very pretty game. The only thing that's not so pretty, the fucking Wookiees don't look so good, man. I don't know what.
For real. I mean, but like you like to have to like animate and like to design all of that hair.
Yeah, but when I was on this, like the second planet you go to, his hair, the main character's hair is like so flowy and stuff. I was like, man, that looks good. But then when you get to the wiki, and this looks like they ever took a. Well, I mean, I guess they were slaves and whatnot, and like uh uh put into like cells and shit, that they wouldn't be bathed. But yeah, they look kind of ratty.
It could be a master. It could be a Halo type situation because like Halo 3 and above, Master Chief and like the characters that you play as look fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everybody else, not so much. Like your enemies, not so much. Even though they use the same enemy types, like you know what I mean. Like all of the enemy types basically look identical, especially except for like the elites. Like there's different types of elites or whatever, but a lot of it is like a color swap, and then they add a little bit more for this color or a little bit less for that color, and like but like Master Chief looks fucking phenomenal,
Yeah.
especially in Halo 3. Halo 3 was like the biggest offender of this because like when you see Master Chief up close, it was like, wow, that is very, very detailed. Like very detailed. You're looking at somebody else and you're like, that's very not detailed.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Very not.
yeah, but the gameplay, man, is like really like, I can see why people like Dark Souls now. Even though I'm playing on an easier difficulty, like I bet if you were playing Dark Souls and you finally fucking got something, you know what I mean? There is a satisfaction to like, because there's these elite dudes that I think they're called purge troopers, and they're kind of a pain in the ass. But if you like, because there's one time one of the alien dog things like attacked him, and I was able to just hit him from behind, just like one shot his ass. That was like the most satisfying thing, but just because they were such a pain in the ass. So there is a
But
satisfaction to.
I think with the Souls games, that's what it really is. Is like it's the you say that the difficulty is like punishing, but like part of it is like figuring it out and
Yeah,
like the sense of accomplishment that comes from figuring it out.
yeah,
It's just on a personal level, like I don't really care about the challenge, and I don't really care about figuring it out. I just want to play a game and be awesome. Like that's why I'm here. Like I want to be fucking dope. Like I don't want to play a fucking video game where I'm just like some some fucking like all Oh shit! It lost the stream completely. I had it running. The stream is just gone. Hold on, it's back. Oh, it's loading. Is it? It's live. It's back live.
Okay, but
Okay.
this is
So
really frustrating.
Yeah, I understand. So I guess we need to like really kind of flow through this,
Yeah.
unless we want to take it offline and just finish it this way.
I mean, we could do that. Just so I'm not like stopping every few minutes. Oh man, fuck the stream. Hey, hey,
Yeah. So
hey,
everybody watching,
hey.
everybody really. So everybody watching the stream, we apologize. Chase is the one who streams this out, and he's having a little bit of technical issues. And like, here's the best part about taking this offline. Y'all don't get to look at my cold store no more. Ooh, ooh.
All right.